after tested. She was diagnosed with ADHD and autism. When I take my daughter to playdates, the other kids might not want to play with her.
That must be really hard.
Chaos is sometimes part of the journey.
Even accept your daughter's special. You kind of walk in a fog. You have no idea where to go. So I had to do a lot of study.
She's teaching us who she is.
What other ways she accepts. And I was determined to use what I learned to help more parents.
When did you first realize there's some difference in your daughters?
When she turned 3, she started to be naughty. She was not really listening to any instructions. If she's focusing doing something, she wanted to finish it.
So today, on Jojo's Cross Borders, we will explore a journey with a Chinese mom, British dad, and a daughter with ADHD, crossing cultures and challenges, and hope. Thank you so much for coming to this show. And then let's start, okay?
Thank you.
Can you just introduce us as a family, please? Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Tao, Chinese name Yu Tao, and my husband sitting in front of me. We met in Canada, and then we moved to China, had our 2 lovely girls in China. Because of his work, and then we moved to Thailand. So maybe when my younger daughter was 7, so she was diagnosed with ADHD and autism. And the school told us basically, when are you moving? And we don't think we can support her here. So we said, your website says it's inclusive. But they said, yeah, basically the school is too big, it's such an environment, it's not great for her. We left the meeting, decided right away it's not the right place for our daughter, and for us as a family, we're not going to get much support. And therefore, we left in a hurry. About 4 months' time, when we decided to move to the UK, because my husband's family is near here, and also we heard education, especially special needs education, is fantastic here, and we really, I would say, we're really grateful for our decision back then, and we're also very lucky that my daughter's getting a lot of support. My both daughters are doing really well in school. Yeah.
That must be really hard, like for the school tell you that's like ask you when you're gonna move the kids away.
Yeah.
Where is that?
I was in Bangkok. Yeah.
Okay.
One of top international schools in Thailand. Yeah.
International school.
Yeah, but that was 2018. Yeah.
Okay, so Garris, if I asked you to give me 3 adjectives to describing your daughter, what's make you proud of? So what was the words are going to be?
I mean, energetic, creative, and probably passionate.
Yeah.
Wow. So actually these 3 words, it is the advantage of being the ADHD. It's a different side of the ADHD. Don't you agree with me?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
From my research, my experiences with my daughter and some other children and adults, they're extremely clever in the area they're interested in, and they're passionate, extremely creative. They could be fantastic artists, musicians, and also engineering. In many fields.
Yeah, we can see it.
Got lots of talents.
Yeah. So when, as a mother, when did you first realize there's some difference in your daughters?
I would say maybe 3.
3 years old?
Yeah, I think she was very.
She's the second daughter, right?
She's younger. Yeah,
She's a young one.
second
And then
yeah.
the first one have no issue at all. And then the second one is lots of different from mom, from sister.
Actually, when they were little, there's not much differences. My older one, I would say a lot passionate in different way, like very emotional. And she's also creative. She loved drawing, singing, dancing, sports and everything. But I think the difference is she wasn't as focused as my younger one for the things that she's interested in. Like my younger one who has ADHD, she could immerse herself into books, puzzles, Legos for a long time. For a 1-year-old, that was extremely unusual. But then when she turned 3, she started to be naughty. Very often she was on the naughty chair.
Yeah, so in which way? Like a super active, like a can't stay still?
She could be pushing boundaries a lot. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? I think 3 because that's when.
Yeah, my recollection was it was because they were different, but at the time, obviously being parents, you think, well, they're 2 different personalities, right? So we weren't thinking about whether there was a special need or anything there, right? I think it was more when it came around to sort of more structured things. So getting into school, like preschool and school and stuff, where your day is sort of compartmentalized and there's expectations on you to do certain things at certain times. I think that's when we started to see her struggling with aspects of that.
Yeah.
So that was when I think it started to be, okay, this isn't just a personality thing. There's something else.
Yeah. School constantly called or texted or emailed us when she was about 5.5. And then school suggested get her tested for ADHD.
That's when when you guys were in Thailand.
In Thailand, yeah. And we did the test and she was kind of borderline. And so then the school counselor decided different approach. We tried different things at home as well, but she was not really listening to any instructions. If she's focusing doing something, she wanted to finish it. And also some subjects she's really not interested. She could be very destructive. And also she bit a boy on the shoulder when the boy is looking at the game but didn't want to share with her.
So emotional control.
Yeah, emotional regulation.
Yeah.
She did ask a few times, but she didn't get her answer.
Yeah.
And that kind of impulsiveness, I guess, just showed. So when she was 6.5, we're testing again. So and that took a few months, I guess, after play therapist, art therapist tested, and it's all confirmed that she's got ADHD and autistic.
Autistic as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that shows an emotional, like a regulation perspective. Yeah. So when you guys move back to UK, what's the change? What's particular practical methods you think you as a parent and the school and society have done to make your daughters more accepted and more confident? So let's talk about from family perspective, like what's methods like you've done different from you were in Thailand.
Say something?
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest difference has been school, really, right? Because, obviously within the school system here, they have the sort of SEND program. So each school will have a special education needs person that coordinates that for the school. In the case of Carris, obviously we took we made the schools aware of the diagnosis. So they were accessing sort of training for the teaching assistants. And then eventually we had to apply for what was it called? The EHCP. So you apply to the local government essentially for this educational healthcare plan on the back of having a diagnosis. And then if that gets approved, then that gets the school access to funding specifically to support your child. So we did that with Carris, and so that provided the school money to provide whatever needs that Carris needed. And in terms of home, there was availability for, sort of training for us as well. I think we had some sort of parenting training around this, right? Trying to think what else.
There's quite a lot of training, and we've done as parents a few, and then there's also lots of organizations in the UK. They provide parent support. For example,
and for siblings, right?
For siblings as well.
Oh yeah.
Their older sister went on sort of these sort of activities that were arranged for siblings of special needs kids. So she would go there and she'd spend a few hours with other, kids around the same age as her that have siblings, like brothers or sisters with special needs.
Yeah.
And I think they would talk about that kind of stuff and difficulties supporting, dealing with their sister or brother, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is so good. I mean, I've known like the training programs. I know the funds as well because my daughters also have a special needs, like the hearing loss part. But in your case, not just only the training for the parents, they also involved with the siblings. This is so human. This is so touching, because I can imagine what is the sibling like a relationship like for their elder sister without having the background knowledge about what to be normal to her second sister. They're just gonna, fighting or just annoying all the time.
Yeah.
But with the elder sister attending this training, have a more understanding, more sympathy. So I guess they're still having this, moments. But I think it's more from the younger age. They have a more sympathy. They show the different perspective to see people's behaviors. It's different.
But I think you're right. It's not just the person. It's everyone around the person as well about how to understand, how to support. Which is nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I will be honest, it's not super easy to get access to the funding always.
It's
so
more and more challenging.
Can you tell us how? Because I know people listening. So with the same situation, they will.
So when we first applied for the EHCP, so what you do is you apply for an assessment to be done as to whether your child needs additional support. So you already have a diagnosis, but this is then to approve for somebody to do an assessment, right? So initially when we requested that with the school together, they declined to have someone do an assessment. We found an independent advisor that told us, I can't remember, that this pretty much happens all the time. So people get declined initially. And
I
then,
understand that from government point of view, where the funds,
And then there's this sort of tribunal process. So you challenge it and then it sort of works towards an independent tribunal. And in the end, they approved to do the assessment like about a week before the tribunal or something. And then the assessment is done by an independent person, not by somebody paid by the government. So once you get to the assessment, it's done by an independent person. So we did get it in the end, but I think it can be really challenging because
it sounds challenging.
We were lucky enough to have a formal diagnosis done when we were abroad. you know, on
in Thailand.
a medical insurance plan, right? So if you try and apply to have a diagnosis here, there's very long wait times.
Long wait.
Oh,
So it can take a long time to initially get a diagnosis, and then to use that to access funds can be quite challenging because of what we just talked about. So it can, you know, even though there is this support here, it can still be kind of difficult and take a long time for parents to kind of go through all of the steps to get access to that support.
Right. Yeah. That's very good advice for the parents. I can see just like as a parent's perseverance, you're fighting for the support for your kids as a parents, right?
Yeah. Yes, definitely it was a fight.
Because you basically, you know, try your best to getting the support for all rounds. I mean, this is the government one, this is the funds one, this is the trainings and lessons, right? Can I ask you as a mom, emotional, what's practical or what's have you sacrificed to raise a special daughter?
Good question. I think first of all, to even accept your daughter's special, and you kind of walk in a fog. You have no idea where to go. He is quite busy. And by the way, Garris provided lots of support. I'm really lucky. But at the same time, mom spent more time with the children, and I think one sacrifice is your identity. You just become a mom. You're not gonna be a career woman, mom, wife, everything. Your first priority is be a good mom. So I had to do a lot of study myself to find out what is autism, what's ADHD, what are the ways to support them, and what are the organizations I can go for to give me support, technical support, and emotional support. And also when you treating one daughter one way, but treating the other daughter, you can't cope it that way. You have to learn who she is, what other ways she accepts, how you communicate with her, convince her, and educate. All of that is different. So any parents who have 2 kids would say, I thought it would be easy for the second one. No. For special needs children, it's especially more difficult, more challenging. As parents, you need to learn totally new perspective of life. I used to feel really negative about my identity just as a full-time mom, because I studied a lot and I wanted to be a career woman. I gave up that. But then also, when I take my daughter to play dates, the other kids might not want to play with her.
That's really hard.
And some other mom will not understand why your daughter behaved this way and then won't invite you again. I think, it was quite negative experience. But like you said, I'm a fighter. I don't want to feel bad for her and also with her. So I think Garris knows, since we came here, I really joined some study groups, parent support groups. And a couple years ago, I've decided to do special needs advocacy course. So I got certified and I was determined to use what I learned to help more parents. And at the same time, learn more about my daughter. 2 daughters, they are different. But for the special needs part, I wanted to learn more about her. So I learned how to communicate so that she can talk inside what's inside of her. And with the school, again, it's a fight. You need to make sure she is getting enough support. And when certain things happen, I get email. I wanted to know in and out and find a right way to direct her for future incidents. What do we do? Could have a better result. She walked out of the school once and police car was kind of following because school called. And all of that, you know, just make you so worried. And I think I won't stop worrying.
You won't stop. So you said it's like you fight for your daughter, like make sure she gets everything, support from school, also with other parents. I mean, you also with her learns how to communicate with her.
Yeah.
So what exactly? So how to communicate with your special needs daughter? Are you her mom or friend or coach or teacher? Who are you?
Oh, that's another great question. After I learned that special needs advocacy course, I came across coaching courses and I became coach. I find after I became coach, I finally learned how to ask her questions so that she can answer me. As a friend, as a coach, as a mom, all combined.
So I'm also a coach. So you ask questions for searching for an answer. Or you ask questions to open her up. So that's the true difference. For age,
Yeah.
So you more need to be an answer in terms to understand her, right?
I kind of don't expect answers.
Okay.
If I ask her questions, I ask her, what do you think? What's your suggestion? If I'm doing this, what would you want to tell me to do? Because one trait about, well, she's autistic as well. So she likes to have a control of things. She likes to think what she could do in that situation. Yeah, one example. And another thing is I don't just face-to-face ask her. She'll feel a lot of pressure. So very often if something happened in school, I got an email before she reached school, we're home. I'll take her for a walk with our dog and we have fun. And when she calmed down, you ask a question that's a little bit deep and say, you know, what do you want to choose in this situation? Or she was hesitant about GCSE choices. She said, basically she approached me and said, I don't know what to do. I said, when you talk about media study, what your heart is feeling like.
To guide her.
Yeah. And when you talk about engineering, for example, what do you think, you know, that would do to you, to the future? And she said, when I talk about media study, I just full of passion. I love it. I want to be an animation lady, like design and animate. So I said, you can think about it. You don't have to decide today. You got time. And then 2 days later, we walk again. She said, Mom, for that conversation, I thought about it. And I've decided I'm going for animation. Because I can't stop thinking about it.
Aww. So you're guiding her.
I let her
open
decide,
the doors
yeah.
and then let her decide.
Yeah.
That's a very advice for the parents. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as a dad, I know you were ADHD when you are a little boy, child. Did you see any similarities from what you experience and with your daughter?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I was diagnosed as an adult, so I mean, I guess ADHD is not something you have when you're a kid.
In the old days, no.
It's something you have. It doesn't go away. And yeah, I mean, when we went through the diagnosis process with our daughter, it was, yeah, it was a bit, it was awkward because it was everything they were describing. A lot of the things they were telling us were the reasons she was getting the diagnosis resonated with, you know, my life and my childhood and stuff, which was, yeah.
It's familiar.
Yeah. You know, obviously not being aware of it as a kid, you know, how it sort of affected my life was more just being the naughty kid and being hyperactive and, you know, this kind of thing, rather than there weren't sort of any sort of constructive supports around it and that kind of stuff. So that aspect's different. But yeah, there's sort of some of the, I mean, I wouldn't say all of the traits are the same though. But yeah, certainly some of them.
With that's similarities, what the differences make you parenting?
I think that's where probably the experience of this between Tao and I was a little bit different, because obviously, you know, the understanding her part was much easier for me, because like I kind of know why she's doing what she's doing, what's going through her head. Like it's very, so, you know, whereas for Tao it all became about sort of studying to try and understand, you know, why she's doing it, what's driving it, that kind of stuff. I think for me I was sort of studying, but it was more becoming more aware of sort of, you know, what the condition is and how it affects people, that kind of stuff, the sort of broader side of it. In terms of parenting, I think probably Tao does a better job of connecting on things like this, because sometimes Carris and I can't, we kind of butt on our ability to talk through issues. So I think you're probably better at it than me.
But you're definitely more fun than me.
Yeah, I think Carris, there's a safety that she feels with me because she knows I kind of understand what's going through her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it is different.
So you're more chilled. Because that's just who you were before.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think, you know, obviously Tao's Chinese versus British. I think in terms of the sort of parenting style that we probably had. Well, we've talked about it, right?
Tiger mum.
No, he called me hovering mom.
Helicopter.
Helicopter, yeah.
But I think, you know, obviously the parenting style that your parents had with you is very different than the parenting style that I had from my parents. And so, you know, that sort of affects how you sort of start going about parenting yourself, but then you start learning from there. So I don't know if I'm more chilled because of the similarities or just the cultural side of it is quite different.
Could be both. And also I think why I say that you're more chilled, relaxed, because like you were like her before, and then it doesn't affect your life, it doesn't affect your career. Look at you now. Can you just tell us, our audience, what the career, roughly give us an idea as an executive in the major industry?
Yeah, so I'm in charge of essentially an R&D organization for a multinational company. I started out as an engineer and did roles within sort of manufacturing and research and development, and, you know, been managing teams now for 16, 17 years of different sizes. So yeah, I think you're right. There's an element where I see the kids doing things and I'm less concerned because, you know, I probably did worse things and managed to survive them
And thrive, yeah.
and get out the other end. So, you know, I think, yeah, chaos is sometimes part of the journey.
Exactly, yeah. So from work perspective, from the future perspective, as your executive, so what would you say that's the advantage from the adults with the ADHD?
I mean, you see quite a lot of sort of entrepreneurs who have ADHD, and I think that there's likely a couple of reasons for that. I think there's a level of creativity that can come because if your brain's jumping all over the place all the time, it sometimes lands on something interesting.
Yeah.
So and also because you're sort of all quite dynamic inside the head, it can, you know, I always found I was very good at sort of tying different things together, so information or ideas and from different places. So I wasn't necessarily the best at coming up with a individual idea or uniqueness, but I was very good at sort of tying lots of things together. And I think as I've got higher and higher, and you know, the higher up in an organization you go, the more of your focus is less about your sort of functional capabilities, and it becomes more about the sort of strategic thinking and the relationship side of things. And I think I certainly resonate with sort of strategic themes for the same reason. And it's nice to have people to delegate the details to when you lose interest.
When the other people lose interest in, and then they still, when other people lose interest in, but some of the staff are still like in detail, very driven, right?
But I look around the sort of leadership teams I work with and things like that, and I suspect there's a reasonable percentage
with this.
I would think so. I mean, not necessarily that are diagnosed, but I think I think it's quite a prevalent trait.
I think one thing I admire him is if he is suddenly interested in something, he will just spend all his time at home or maybe even at work, just focus on learning that. He moved away from his industry that he was in for 20 plus years and moved to a new industry. There was a little bit worry, but as soon as he transitioned to the new industry, he just was so driven and learned everything in a short time, and it took a still a higher position. And whenever there's a major, I guess, breakthrough issues, so an issue that needs some breakthrough, he would think outside the box and find a solution. Now the whole company is using that solution. So I think, the creativity and the focus is very important.
Yes, yeah. But at the same time, so as his wife, what about like other parts you can see? I wish he doesn't have this ADHD. I wish he can talk me more or anything. What's other things you wish like the other side?
I think definitely the communication sometimes is a challenge. He would just say what's in his brain, like so sharp and blunt sometimes. And I have to,
Okay.
breathe and accept it. And that's just how he is. And he's just a problem solver. It never meant anything bad. It's just, go straight to the point, basically, for the communication part. Never waste time, talk more.
You wish it's more about like small talks.
And I think there's also part of ADHD is procrastination. I think there's certain things.
Is it? I don't know about that.
They think very trivial. It's not important to them. They would not want
the
to
view is
spend time.
different. Okay, that's why they don't want to put effort.
It's the attention deficit. So if you're interested in something,
You go for it.
It's like hyper focus.
Yeah.
But if you're not interested in it, you can't create any focus. So you just can't
So then
start things that you don't have a level of interest into. So yeah, that can be,
well,
yeah, I could say that.
But that is labels as a procrastination, but actually it's not. It's just that they're not interested.
They're
Right?
not interested. Yeah.
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 But yeah, in my view, it's like that would just take you like 2 minutes effort. Yeah, but I don't want to waste that 2 minutes thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, I'd say that my belief is one of the most important characteristics that people with ADHD develop is resilience.
Yeah.
So the ability to take risks is around being comfortable with the idea that something isn't going to work, right? And, you know, people with ADHD spend their whole life having things not work. So they get very used to, you know, not getting bogged down by when things don't go right. So I think there's a resilience that, you know, and an ability to take risk that comes with it. They also don't, you know, I think they're very accommodating for when other people make mistakes. Like I see that with Carris a lot. Like if somebody else makes a mistake, she'll never make a big deal out of it. She'll notice, but she won't ever give someone a hard time about making a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. So it's resilience and then just driven and then also more accept other people's making mistake because they are one of those, you know, or easily become one of those, right?
Yeah, they could easily move the attention to something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you giving the parents advice if who listening, who has the same struggling or they're lost on their way now?
I would say it's very important you kind of lower yourself.
Lower yourself.
Yes. Yeah, less like, oh, you should do this, you should, you know. For this ADHD group or even autistic group of children, it's not their fault if they done something wrong. I think the best is to, what I meant by lowering yourself is to learn as much as you can about your child and also all the support you can grab, all of it, to learn as much as possible and build close relationship so they can trust you, they can communicate with you. And also another advice is give them space. Let them decide what they want to do. Or if there's issue, like for example, my daughters cannot remember lots of routine stuff. So then I said, how about I give you a week, you decide what to do. And she could learn from the mistakes. So give them the space to make some choices. It's okay to make mistakes. Yeah.
It's very good advice. What is your version then as a dad?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with a lot of it. I think I'd probably expand on parts of that. I think it's important not to think about, you don't as a parent, you're not trying to learn techniques of how you can teach your child to be like other children. What you need to do is you need to accept that they're going to be different in certain areas and let them make it okay. Like if she wants to spend time in a room building 100 of the same craft things, let her do it. Buy her the materials. Let her explore that passion, right? Rather than trying to teach her not to, right? And I think that's probably the biggest thing that we've learned, I guess, is we're not teaching her how to be normal, if you like. It's the opposite. She's teaching us who she is.
Yeah. I think she definitely accepts who she is. And she's built so much confidence. She knows she can be independent and she can solve problems. She decides what her future's like. If she wants to learn something, she spends all her time to learn to the best, to excellent.
Believe
And
in
then,
her.
yeah, that's how she built that confidence. And then she might be then next month focus on something else completely opposite, but she will just practice in her room until she's a master of that. Then she might be jumping to something else.
Yeah.
But that's how they build their confidence. Yeah.
So what would you say to the parents like who don't understand the difficulties or the challenge of, to be a parent for ADHD? If we move back to that situation, like the other parents don't invite her for play days, it's hurting you and your daughter, what would you like to say to them?
I think I really wish parents are more, I don't want to use the word open-minded. I think more inclusive, because children are different and it's not their fault. You could educate them, maybe a proper way of interact or, play certain toys rather than throwing it everywhere. You could educate them. I'm sure they got nature way of learning. It will take time, or it's a different way to learn things. So probably be more inclusive and understanding. We are all different. Why can't our kids be different? And you can always open communicate to the parents who have special needs children. Then you can learn more about it rather than refusing and close the door.
I think you're right. I think it's around the awareness, right? Like similar to us. I mean, until we went through this and learned more about it, we would have probably reacted similarly, right? So I think generally it's things like this are good because it broadens awareness, and the school she's in now is great because they've got a special facility, dedicated, but they're also, part of their logic is they want to support the special needs kids, but they also want to teach the other children at the school
To be aware.
How to support and be around and be inclusive. So I think, over time, that's having more people that understand will help. Otherwise it's kind of hard if you don't understand what's going on or why it could be happening. It's difficult to react.
As parents, we don't expect our children make friends with other, like
With
neurotypical. It's their choice. They eventually will find people they get along, they have the same interest, same topic with. But they also, like this open kind of channel, they get to see what other kids do, and then the neurotypical kids can see.
It's part of their education as well, right?
It's a mutual. It's both ways. That's how when they grow up, like our age now, when they grow in their career, they're more acceptance. And then they understand each other a bit more. They can work together better rather than have this discrimination or something. It's all through understanding and awareness.
Well, thank you so much for your sharing your journey and your challenges and your wisdom behind. So as we say, ADHD is not a pity. It's a difference we need to understand. If we all accept them over judgments, I think we change not only a children's life, we are changing their future. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.